You love your baby? That is not the question. The question is whether some of the things you do every single day, things that feel completely normal, things that feel like good parenting, are quietly working against the very development you are trying to protect. Not abuse, not neglect. I am talking about 5 specific things that millions of loving, attentive parents do without thinking twice. And the reason no one talks about them is because they look fine on the surface. They look like parenting. But underneath the surface, in your baby's developing brain, something very different is happening. By the time we get to number 3, you are going to rethink something you probably did this morning. And number 5 is the one that stops most parents cold, because it is the thing almost everyone does when they think they are being helpful. Stay with me, this matters more than you know. Number 1, rushing through transitions. Your baby is playing. They are absorbed content, doing whatever babies do when they are deep in their own little world. And then you pick them up because it is feeding time or bath time or time to go somewhere. No warning, just done. Up and moving. It seems like nothing. Babies cannot tell time. What does it matter? Here is what it matters. Your baby's nervous system is not just processing what is happening right now. It is constantly building predictions about what comes next. Every time something ends without warning, without any signal that a transition is coming, the brain registers that as a small disruption. A tiny jolt of uncertainty. One disruption, nothing. But this happens dozens of times a day, every day in the first year of life. Over time, repeated abrupt transitions teach the nervous system something it should not have to learn this early. That the world shifts without warning, that calm does not last, that you cannot settle too deeply because things change fast. The fix is almost embarrassingly simple. Before you pick them up, before you move them, before you end something, give them 10 seconds. Talk to them. Okay, we are going to go eat now. They do not understand the words. They understand the tone, the signal, the moment of preparation. That is enough. That 10-second warning changes everything about how their nervous system experiences the transition. Number 2, answering their distress before it peaks. This one sounds backwards, so stay with me. When your baby starts to fuss, the instinct of every loving parent is to fix it immediately. Before the cry builds, before it gets loud, you are already picking them up, already offering a feed, already doing whatever it takes to make it stop. And that instinct comes from love, but there is something it accidentally skips. Babies need to experience the very beginning of distress, that small window between I am uncomfortable and I am really upset, because that window is where the earliest self-regulation lies. It is where they first practice something their brain desperately needs to learn, the experience of feeling bad and waiting for it to shift. When that window is never allowed to exist, when every flicker of discomfort is erased before it can register, the brain does not get the chance to build its own calming pathways. It only learns one thing. Distress equals someone else fixes it. That is not the message you want wired in at this age. This is not about letting your baby cry it out. This is not about leaving them in distress. It is about pausing for 30 seconds before you respond, watching them, letting them feel the beginning of something uncomfortable and then responding with warmth. That brief pause, followed by your calm presence, is one of the most powerful things you can do for their emotional development. You are not withholding comfort. You are teaching their brain that discomfort is manageable and that help is coming. Number 3, narrating what you want them to feel instead of what they feel. Your baby falls, they bump their head. They look at you with that brief, searching expression that happens before the reaction, before they have decided whether this is a disaster or just a thing that happened. And you say you're okay, you're fine. There is nothing wrong with those words. The problem is what they accidentally teach. When a baby is upset, really upset, and the adult in the room tells them they are fine, 2 things are happening at once. Their body is telling them one thing, you are telling them another. And they are too young, too neurologically undeveloped to reconcile that gap. So they learn, slowly and without knowing it, that what they feel inside does not match what the people who love them say about it. That gap over time does not just cause confusion, it trains a child to distrust their own internal experience, and that distrust does not stay in infancy, it follows them. The correction is not complicated. Instead of "you're fine," try "that scared you, didn't it?" Instead of "stop crying, you're okay," try "I know that hurt." You are not making it worse by naming it, you are doing the opposite. You are giving the feeling somewhere to land, and that is exactly what allows it to move through and settle. A baby whose feelings are reflected back to them accurately, consistently, learns something that cannot be taught any other way. That what they feel is real and that it is safe to feel it. If this is giving you a different picture of what is actually going on inside your baby, subscribe. This is what this channel is for, not advice, not lists of rules, the real science of what your baby is experiencing in plain language every week. Number 4, overfilling their day. Walk through a baby's average day and count the inputs. The musical toy, the sensory mat with the crinkle sounds, the bouncer that vibrates, the TV on in the background, the baby class, the playdate. The constant narration, stimulation, engagement, enrichment. All of it comes from love. All of it comes from wanting to give your baby every possible advantage. In all of it, stacked up together without gaps, works against the development you are trying to support. A newborn's nervous system is not a sponge waiting to be filled. It is a system that needs contrast, stimulation followed by stillness, input followed by processing time, engagement followed by space to just exist without anything being asked of the senses. When babies are chronically overstimulated, they do not crash in an obvious way. They fuss. They go glassy-eyed, they arch their back or go stiff, they check out. And the parent response almost every time is to try more. More rocking, more movement, more distraction, which is the exact opposite of what the baby is asking for. What an overstimulated baby needs is what feels like nothing. Quiet, dim light, a calm body next to theirs, stillness, that is not doing nothing, that is doing the most important thing. Because the brain does not build connections during stimulation, it builds them in the quiet time after. Leave gaps in the day, put the toys away sometimes and just sit with them. Let there be nothing happening, that is not wasted time, that is when the work actually gets done. Number 5, this is the one. Using your phone while you are with them. Not instead of them, while you are with them. You are sitting on the floor, your baby is playing nearby. You are there, technically. Your body is there. But your face is pointed at a screen and your expression has gone flat and your responsiveness has dropped to almost nothing. To you, you are just checking something. To your baby, something has changed that they do not have words for and cannot make sense of. Babies rely on the face of the person they love most as their primary source of information about whether the world is safe. Not the room, not the objects around them, your face. Specifically, your responsiveness. The way your expression shifts when they make a sound, the way your eyes move when they look at you, the way your whole face changes when they do something and you notice. When that responsiveness goes away, not because you left the room, but because you disappeared into a screen, the baby's brain registers something is wrong. They try to re-engage you. They vocalize, they reach, they escalate. And if the screen keeps winning, they eventually withdraw, and the stress hormones that have been building since the moment your face went blank start to settle in. This is not about phones being evil. It is not about needing to be present every single second. It is about one specific thing. The moments you are in the same space as your baby, physically close, seemingly together, but actually gone. Those moments are not neutral, they register. The version of this you can actually do is real. It is not never look at your phone when your baby is awake. It is this. When your baby is looking for you, be there. When they make a sound, look up. When they reach for you with their eyes, meet them. The screen can wait 20 seconds. What they are doing in those 20 seconds cannot. None of these 5 things make you a bad parent. The fact that you are watching this, turning these ideas over in your head, wondering if you are missing something, that is not guilt. That is attunement. And attunement is the whole thing. Your baby does not need perfection. They never did. What they need is a parent who keeps paying attention, who keeps asking the right questions, who is willing to look at something uncomfortable and then change it. That is you. You already are that. If this gave you something today, share it with another parent. Because the most useful thing we can do for these tiny people is understand what they are actually experiencing, not what we assume, what is actually happening inside them.